Last time on Trials and Tribulations, Phoenix Wright is ready for action. In case you miss anything, I'm gonna fill you in on this case.
It's been a long time, Mr. Judge.
Iris was actually Dahlia Hawthorne in disguise, swapping with the real Iris to help Morgan Fate kill Maya. But when I question why,
For my own personal satisfaction.
I realized that her personal motive was to get revenge on one person. Mia. Will this trial finally get the closure it deserves? Find out on Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations next!
Well, I have the same problem, you see. You can't punish the dead, and you can't take revenge on them either.
You wanted to take revenge on someone?
I was sentenced to die because of that woman, Mia Fey.
I somehow knew this was it.
I wanted to send her a message. It was at her hands that I suffered my first humiliation. I wanted her to feel the same pain she made me feel. Sadly, when I realized revenge was impossible, I gave up.
And the reason it was impossible, was it because Mia Fey had already died?
Yes, and I realized there's only one way to take revenge against the dead.
And how do you do that?
Even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on, forever. I wanted to take away the person that Mia Fey loved most. I wanted to kill her with my own hands. That would be the one and only way I could take my revenge against Mia Fey. That was the reason I helped out with that woman's plans.
Just for that you would kill Maya. Your goal was no different than that of Morgan Fey!
As they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. What a cruel plan. Cruel, cold, and heartless.
Don't waste your time preaching to the dead. I've already told you, there's not a thing you can do to me. That night, at about 9:30 p.m., I materialized into this world. I quickly pinned my hair up and put on a demon warding hood. Then I picked up the staff that was by my side and left Hazakura Temple.
So, it was at least a Nimue who channeled her after all.
That ridiculous head nun never noticed a thing. She left Maya Fey at the inner temple and wobbled back, clutching her poor old back.
What did you do then?
That kid was easier to handle than I had hoped. I caught up with her in front of the stone lantern. And then I took out the dagger I got from the storeroom and...
So then you're saying you stabbed Maya!
It's strange, but... I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that.
What does that mean? No clear memory.
I don't know. I think I was stabbed.
You were stabbed!
At the last minute, Maya Fey must have stabbed me. I'm sure of it.
Objection! That's not like her at all. I wouldn't stab a french fry with a plastic fork!
Anyway, I suddenly lost consciousness. But before I did, I scrawled her name on the lantern. Just as I was passing out, I wrote Maya behind my back. I had hoped it would cast suspicion on her.
I can't believe she was thinking of that until the bitter end.
That's where my memory temporarily stops.
It stops?
I don't have any memory of actually killing Maya Fey with my own two hands. My very last memory was Maya's terror-filled eyes. When I woke up after that, I was in the sacred cavern, surrounded by darkness.
You were in the sacred cavern?
The entrance was sealed with one of those trick locks. Somehow, I'd been trapped in there.
But how did you wind up in there?
I'd like to know that myself. Anyway, I was worried. I didn't know whether or not Maya Fey was dead, and I swore I wouldn't return to the underworld until I knew I had killed her myself.
For a ghost, you're one tough cookie.
I wanted to get out of there and make sure she was dead, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't get out.
The trick lock stopped you, huh?
I didn't know how to remove it.
So then you're saying you were actually confined against your will inside this sacred cavern?
Yes, I wanted to get rid of that annoying lock as soon as possible. But it wasn't easy. I kept getting interrupted while I was working on it.
Interrupted?
It was early in the morning, but someone came into the training hall.
What? Who?
Could it have been Maya?
I thought the same thing, but I couldn't see.
Why not?
If someone had spotted me, I would have lost my chance to take revenge. So I made sure to hide myself well in the back of the sacred cavern.
That morning, only 2 people could have gone into the training hall. Maya and Pearls. Pearls went there to cover the hanging skull and gravy.
Still, I finally managed to remove the lock. But I was too late.
What do you mean by that?
The flies had already started to gather.
The bridge had been fixed and police had started their investigation, correct?
Naturally, I couldn't go out. So instead, I returned to the cavern and put the lock back on myself. I realized I wouldn't get a chance to see Maya's corpse as I had hoped. But just then, Lady Luck showed up.
Lady Luck.
After that big earthquake, she showed up, all by herself.
The real Iris.
She said she'd come to make sure the sacred cavern was alright. Stupid girl. I came out from the sacred cavern and got a feel for the situation. And I locked her away in my place. I had finally learned exactly what had happened. It was then that I learned that the plan had actually succeeded.
What do you mean your plan had succeeded?
I had misunderstood one thing, you see. That night, the one that had summoned me, I had assumed that it was Pearl Fey.
Well, of course you would have assumed that. It was written in the instructions.
But I was wrong. The person that had actually called my spirit back was Misty Fey, the picture book author.
What?
Well, that's really the only possibility, isn't it? After I had lost consciousness in the garden, it was her body that was left lying there. Maya Fey. I wasn't able to kill her with my own hands after all. But even so, I made her commit the most vile sin a human can commit.
And that is...
Matricide. The sin of killing her own mother.
No way!
Order in the court. What is the meaning of this?
It's true that I was the one who attacked Maya Fey. But even so, the murderer that actually snuffed out Misty Fey's life was none other than your darling little Maya.
Objection! You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it!
Are you sure about that? Just think about it. There's even evidence supporting these facts, isn't there?
What? What do you mean? What is this so-called evidence?
The fact that Maya Fey has disappeared is evidence enough, isn't it?
Huh?
The idea that she's still in the sacred cavern is just ridiculous. She wasn't able to escape from the inner temple. That much is obvious. In that case, there's only one place she could be.
Where?
Do I have to spell it out? The bottom of the Eagle River. Where else?
Eagle River?
Maya Fey killed her long-lost mother. Can you imagine the guilt she must have felt when she realized that? That's why she threw herself into the Eagle River. Most bodies that wind up in there are lost forever. So, what do you have to say now, Feeny?
Oops. Sorry, that was my phone.
What the hell kind of ringtone is that?
Godot here. Okay, thanks.
Was it something important?
They just finished removing the locks from the sacred cavern.
That's great! What about Maya?
There was a woman in the cave.
Was it Maya Fey?
It was the accused, Sister Iris.
Huh?
Don't look so surprised. I locked her in there yesterday. I just got finished telling you that.
So what about Maya? Where is she?
There was no one else found inside the sacred cavern.
No, it can't be.
I told you, didn't I? She's dead.
No.
It seems that this case has come to an end. A tragic end. Sadly, it appears the killer of Elise Denim, also known as Misty Fey, was her own daughter, Maya Fey. Overcome with guilt for what she had done, Maya Fey jumped to her death into the raging waters of the Eagle River.
Can't be.
Ha! Trite. Have you ever heard of this one? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. No matter how improbable it may seem.
What is that supposed to mean, Prosecutor Godot?
According to this witness, Maya Fey threw herself into Eagle River. However, is that really the truth? Remember, this woman testified earlier that the bridge was already on fire when the murder was taking place in the garden. Which means if Maya had thrown herself into the river, it must have been from the inner temple's side, near the bridge.
That's right. That's where she jumped from.
But that's impossible. It's impossible to jump into the river from there.
What?
Don't get your panties all twisted up, Trite. Just relax and think through the whole thing again.
So it's impossible. Maya couldn't have thrown herself into the Eagle River?
Well, Mr. Wright, Miss Hawthorne claims Miss Fey threw herself into the river from the inner temple side. Do you have any evidence that refutes this claim?
Go with your gut, Phoenix. She's alive. She's alive! Take that!
It's impossible to jump into the Eagle River from the inner temple side. No one knows that better than this witness!
What did you say?
11 years ago, you jumped into the very same river. Just take a look at this overhead map. As you can see, below the cliff on the inner temple side is a big rock shelf.
Oh, you're right.
She wouldn't have reached the river if she had jumped off from there. In other words, if she had jumped, we should be able to see her body in this photo!
So you finally figured it out.
No!
Order!
You're just playing with me. Maya Fey's body is at the bottom of the Eagle River. There's nowhere else she could possibly be hiding.
Miss Hawthorne, have you ever heard this one before? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth.
Yes, just a few minutes ago.
Maya Fey wasn't inside the sacred cavern. We now know that she didn't throw herself into the Eagle River.
Correct. That eliminates all the most likely possibilities.
Now, although it seems improbable, there's still one other place she could be.
What? What is this one possibility you're talking about?
That's obviously a bluff. So, where's her dead body then?
Finally, I think the pieces are falling into place. Normally, the living have no way to punish the dead. But I think there is a way to give Dahlia Hawthorne the ultimate retribution. Shall I tell you, Miss Hawthorne? Shall I tell you where Maya is this very instant? Maya Fey is here. There's only one possibility left. Namely, she's right here in this very courtroom.
What?
Maya Fey is here?
You say she's here in my courtroom?
Dahlia Hawthorne, I seem to recall that you said I had misunderstood one thing, you see.
So what?
But I think there's one more thing you misunderstood.
What do you mean?
Tell me something. At this very moment, who's channeling Dahlia Hawthorne?
Like that? That's obvious. It's Pearl Fey, that pathetic little sniveling runt.
You're wrong. Pearl's tried, but she couldn't do it.
I've never felt like channeling someone. This is the first time it's happened.
Isn't there any other explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit?
It could happen if someone else was already channeling the same spirit.
Someone called me before Pearl did. But who?
Pearl's even tried again on the day after the crime. But she couldn't do it. What could that mean? I think the truth is becoming clear to you right about now, am I correct? It wasn't Pearls that channeled you. There was someone who called you before she could. Who's a friendly little bee? Take that! This is an easy one. Pearls couldn't do it, and Misty Fey is gone. There's only one possibility left.
Come on already, I can't stand the tension.
Dahlia Hawthorne! The person channeling you right now must be Maya Fey!
What?
But how could that be? Remember what this witness, Dahlia Hawthorne, said about her goal.
She said that her goal was to kill Maya Fey.
Yes, that's right. But if Maya channeled the spirit of someone that was trying to kill her...
Well, Gramps, what would happen?
Could it be?
It looks like you finally understand, Your Honor.
Well, I don't. What are you going on about?
What I'm going on about is the reason Maya channeled you. And there's only one reason. To protect herself from you.
Alas, virus database has been updated.
And the virus database! Fuck those viruses!
To protect herself from me?
Yes, On the night of the murder, you were only interested in one thing. Killing Maya Fey! The path to the inner temple was closed off and there was nowhere for her to run. So then the problem became, where would be the safest place to hide?
You mean, that's when she channeled me?
All along you thought you had been channeled by pearls. That's why it never occurred to you that Maya's hiding place was inside you!
No, don't say that! You're saying that I was played for a fool by that little whelp? Maya Fey killed herself! Isn't that obvious?
Objection! Sorry, but no. It would have been impossible for her to jump into the Eagle River. This was the only avenue of escape open to Maya. The only way that Maya could disappear from the inner temple.
I don't believe you! A stupid little girl like that, who's never been out in the real world, she could never have come up with a plan like that! Who could have ever given her such a brilliant idea?
Well...
Me, of course.
Mia!
Mia Fey!
It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne.
So it's true. It was you.
Yes.
You're something else.
But what are you doing here?
Renslayer. It's pearls, right?
Tell me something, Dahlia. I want you to think back to that night one more time. You had just cornered Maya in the Inner Temple's garden. And then, in the final moments of the fight, you lost consciousness. How very shining.
I was stabbed by Maya Fey!
Actually, Maya lost consciousness at the same time as you.
She did?
Not terribly surprising, since she was about to be killed.
When she woke up, she was in the training hall. That's when Maya decided she needed help, so she channeled me. She explained in a memo the situation she was in. She asked me what I thought she should do.
She did that? I can't believe it.
Of course, I didn't have all the details. But one thing was perfectly clear.
And that was...
I knew that you couldn't be allowed to wander free.
Free? What do you mean, Chief?
It was a race against time, so I wrote down 2 things that Maya had to do. Channel Dahlia Hawthorne as soon as possible, and lock herself in the sacred cavern until help arrived.
So it was Maya who put that lock on there.
Yes, but why did you order her to do those 2 things?
If she hadn't done it, Dahlia Hawthorne would have been channeled by someone else. By one Pearl Fey.
Pearls?
Yes, Pearl didn't properly understand the plan, so all she was trying to do was follow her mother Morgan Fey's instructions. If she had succeeded in channeling Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit, things would have turned out very badly, to put it mildly.
So that's how it was. Dahlia Hawthorne would have used the body of Pearl Fey to kill Maya at all costs.
Yes, it certainly sounds like that was the intent all along.
How dare you! I won't forget this!
Why not just admit it, Dahlia Hawthorne? Your little plan was nothing but a big failure.
Yes, another failure to add to the pile of shame, wouldn't you say?
What do you mean by another?
Think about it, Dahlia. Remember all your past crimes? Not a single one of them was a success. They all ended in failure.
What? How dare you?
11 years ago. Fake kidnapping. Your very first crime. You got your hands on a $2 million diamond, but...
Feeny, hold that flashback steady. I can't see.
after Terry Falls escaped and went to meet with Valerie Hawthorne, the truth was exposed.
Shut your mouth! That wasn't my fault! It was because of that stupid oaf of a prisoner and that weakling of a policewoman.
And then, 1 year later, you tried to kill me. Well, I'm still alive, but... you wound up killing someone else. As a result, you were sentenced to death. It's one stupid move after another for you, but it's no longer funny.
You, with that smug, happy-go-lucky smile off your face.
And now this! You've messed up again! You let Maya Fey escape, even though she was right there in front of you.
Mia Fey! Mia Fey! Mia Fey! You spinster! I was supposed to kill Maya Fey like I swore I would! If only you had gotten the spiky-haired jerk the guilty verdict, I wouldn't have been hanged to death!
True. But I think you finally understand, Dahlia Hawthorne. You will never defeat me.
What? What did you say?
Whether you're alive, dead, or somewhere in between, you will never defeat me. As long as I'm around, you're destined to lose for all eternity.
I remember what you said earlier in the trial. You said there was no way we could punish you, because you were already dead.
What about it?
Then you said, even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on forever.
That's very true, Dahlia. And that's exactly the punishment you'll never be able to escape from. For all of eternity, you'll have to remain as Dahlia Hawthorne, a miserable, pathetic, weak creature who can never win at anything. And for you, there is no escape from that, no hope of freedom. Since the day you were executed, the narrow bridge that once stretched out in front of you has burnt to a crisp.
You're wrong. It can't be. How could I lose to the likes of you?
It no longer matters. I don't care whether you win or lose anymore. The only thing I want is for you to come out of Maya's body right now! Sayonara, bitch!
The girl. Let her go.
Now then, I assume you are the real Iris.
Yes, I was just rescued from the sacred cavern.
I must say, you and your twin sister are indeed identical from what I can see. In any case, it appears that everything has finally been cleared up. Mr. Godot, what happened to Dahlia Hawthorne?
If you ask me, Your Honor, it looks like she went back to the hell she came from.
It seems that Misty Faye wasn't the only victim of this crime. Maya Faye, as well as the young Pearl Faye, were also victims of this wicked and selfish plan.
Yes, Your Honor.
The tragedy of Medium Valley has finally come to an end, it seems. It would be best for everyone if no further attempt was made to channel that spirit again.
Your Honor,
Yes? What is it?
about this whole spirit medium thing. It's almost weird how comfortable you seem with the concept now.
Well, to be frank, my younger brother is quite judgmental. He often criticizes me for not studying hard enough. That's why I made a concerted effort to study up on the Karain channeling technique.
Hey, isn't that the New Year's issue of Occult?
I've seen quite a few things in my many years on the bench, and in all that time, I finally learned this one thing. Each case is different, and takes place in its own world, if you will. In order to fully understand that world, first we have to immerse ourselves in it completely. And that's where my brother and I used to differ.
Never thought of it that way.
At any rate, it's time to pass judgment in the case of Iris of Hazakura Temple.
Yes!
Objection!
What?
You're a little too fast with that gavel, Your Honor.